So the NBA is in hot water again, once more for non-basketball reason. If you haven't heard, the Atlanta Hawks are hosting Magic City Monday, a well-known tradition in Atlanta for other more adult reasons. The owners of the Atlanta Hawks were somewhat captivated by the culture that the adult entertainment industry brings to Atlanta and decided, let's go ahead and partner with the number one strip club in all of America, right? That's Magic City right here. And a few people have taken issues with the way that they've worded this. Let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit and see, right? So, the Atlanta Hawks today announced a special one-night collaboration to celebrate the city's iconic cultural institution, Magic City, during the team's home game versus Orlando. Now, if you don't know, the reason that they're calling it Magic City Monday is because they're facing the Atlanta Magic on Monday. And Magic City Monday is also well known in Atlanta as being a staple within the institution of Magic City itself. Right? So this came out maybe a week or so ago. Some people had things to say about it, but then it got blew out of proportion once Spurs backup center Luke Kornet went ahead and took to his blog that he just recently started up, actually just again, talking about the recent announcement and actually asking the NBA to take it down, right? He says, reading what I just read, and he says here in his press release, the Hawks failed to acknowledge that this place is, as the business itself boasts, Atlanta's premier strip club. Given this fact, I would like to respectfully ask that the Atlanta Hawks cancel this promotional night with Magic City. Now, people have a lot of opinions about this, and for some reason, I don't know, there's a lot of fiery discourse about it. And to be honest, I don't personally see the reason. I take that back. I actually completely do. Let's go ahead and look into Luke Kornet's blog. If we go ahead and scroll back through history on his Medium account, if it's going to load, we find that he initially used this as a way to document churches, Catholic churches, while he was traveling to different NBA cities. Luke Kornet is a devout Catholic, right? Luke Kornet. Devout Catholic. Used to play for the he plays for the San Antonio Spurs now, but used to play for the Boston Celtics. Admired by many for obvious reasons, right? From Lexington, Kentucky. He is, as pure as they come. So in that sense, for him to see this on social media, see that an NBA team is partnering with a strip club, he's like, there's no way that this could be this can actually be a possible thing. I need the NBA to take this down now. And I understand where he's coming from. I understand why he would think this, but I'd have to respectfully disagree with having to take it down. And before you go in the comments and talk about like, what are you talking about, kid? Like, you think strip clubs are good? You want the kids to see it? Let me go ahead and explain myself, right? So, number one thing, what exactly are the details of the collaboration? Not many people have really talked about that. Let's go ahead and look into it. They're having Atlanta's own T.I., the legendary rapper, to perform some of his well-known tracks at halftime. Magic City, also very famously known for its lemon pepper wings, are so good apparently that Lou Williams back in the bubble had to leave in order to go get his fix, will be sold at the Atlanta Hawks Arena. Beyond that, they're selling a hoodie, Magic City hoodie. That's pretty much it. No dancers, no explicit mentions of what exactly they do. You know what I'm saying? There's no explicit content that will be shown. It's just simply sponsored by the organization. Now, my number one thing is that I want to say, Luke Kornet in particular took issue with the phrasing, the city's iconic cultural institution. That's not necessarily wrong. Is it a strip club? Yes, but you can't put that in NBA language. Now, you might be saying, why on earth is the NBA allowing this to happen? Well, let me go ahead and let you know that the NBA doesn't actually veto or supervise or anything of teams' individual collaborations. The onus is strictly on the team, right? And the team owner, or the team owner's wife, Jamie Gertz, principal owner here, she gave it the okay. She was like, this is a great idea. Family-owned business is what she called it. This is a great way to celebrate. But what I really think the main thing here was like trying to make money. And money it will make, right? We look at this article by the great David Aldridge, and we find out that it sold nearly 2,000 tickets within the first 24 hours. Now, for a frame of reference, we look at the Hawks' chief marketing officer. She says, I don't think I've gotten as many requests for tickets to a game. On top of that, she's saying, I have people saying, hold a hoodie for me on the side. More than 90% approval that the team has received on social media since they announced the collaboration. This is Atlanta. There are people saying that it's a strip club. How could you say that's part of Atlantic culture? How could you say that's a part of black culture? But to be honest, it is. Just like country is a part of white culture, rock is a part of white culture, you know what I'm saying? Heavy metal, Just because something's a part of society doesn't mean that it's all of that society. Magic City is undeniably an iconic institution in Atlanta, right? In fact, to let y'all know how crazy this really goes, right? I have a friend. A few years back, he got accepted into Harvard, Stanford, many other great places. He lives in Atlanta. What his older sister did for him was take him to a strip club to celebrate when he's 18. Let's hear his thoughts. Yo, my guy, how you doing? Can they see you? There you go. Yeah. Anyway, I was just telling the people I'm not streaming, but like I'm about to upload this in a few minutes or whatever. I was just telling them about how like you got into some of the nation's top schools, right? And the way that you celebrated was by going to a strip club.
Yeah, for sure.
Which one was it?
Magic City.
You went to Magic City. He went to Magic City to celebrate him getting into Harvard and Stanford,
Indeed.
right?
Indeed.
Would you say that Magic City is a cultural iconic institution in Atlanta?
Dude, it's more than that.
Really?
Like, it's a cultural cornerstone in Atlanta, bruh. Like, it really is. And, like, it's not even just about the strip club aspect of it, although, like, it is, like, I guess first class when it comes to that. But again, the culture, bro, like, rappers pull up there. The wings there even, bro. Like, the wings served at Magic City are like considered to be among the best, if not the best wings served in Atlanta. It's like everything coming together about that place that really makes it like the cultural cornerstone it is like in the city.
So do you understand the backlash when people like so people are saying about like the Hawks having the thing with Magic City, right? They're saying like, oh my gosh, the kids are gonna see like, they're gonna start asking mommy, what's a strip club? Da da da. Like, is that real?
Yeah. Dude, yeah. I mean, like, but the thing is that, I mean, in my humble opinion, bro, like there's like no one is gonna like do lap dances in front of the kids, yo. Like it really is just the culture of the city. Like I guess you can go back and forth as to like whether or not it's appropriate, but in and of itself, that self-contained event is very, just vanilla and fun. And I think that could apply, like, that whole argument of, oh, like, if the kids ask questions about where this comes from, then, like, it could get kind of messy. Like, that could apply to so many things. Like, don't kids ask, like, where did I come from? You're not going to tell them that, you're not going to give them the real answer. Like, it's not a big deal. I think it's fun. I think it's fun, and I think they present it in, like, a vanilla way, like, for a reason. So that's just my opinion, though. But honestly, I can see the other viewpoint as well.
I can too, but I'm still on that same side. And I feel like people are like they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's not Atlanta culture." Like, how come like that's all we have? You're saying that only black people all they have is strip clubs, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess as far as image goes, yeah, Atlanta, that is a big part of it, I think. But it's not like there aren't other great parts to Atlanta as well. I think a lot of people really, for example, praise the Atlanta music scene. I think like I personally believe that is the best rap scene in the country, given all the artists that come from there: Future, Gunna, Young Thug, Lil Baby. I can go on and on. There's redeeming parts of Atlanta. Like if it was really just the fact that Atlanta is seen as this rundown, freaking ghetto strip club here, strip club there sort of city with nothing else to offer, that's a different conversation. But we're not having that conversation right now. Atlanta, I feel like, is respected in other regards as well.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly the point that I was making, bro.
Real
Literally.
talk.
Yeah.
Real talk.
But no, I'm gonna talk to you later though. I appreciate it, bro. Like I'm gonna talk to you soon, but that was great. I'm gonna send you the video. There are things that actually matter in the NBA as well that we could be petitioning against. One, gambling ads. You think about it, kids are the most susceptible to advertisements out of any demographic in the world, right? And the NBA just plasters ads all over the screen, priming them essentially to become gamblers when they're older. It's just a natural transition. I talked to Danny Funt, a world-renowned gambling journalist, on my newest video, and he told me that there are elementary school kids that are addicted to gambling. What probably happened was they watched an NBA game. You know what I'm saying? They saw DraftKings put $5 to win 300. They said, "Oh, I want to do that." They use their mom's account. They sign up. You know how crafty kids are. And boom, before you know it, by the time they're 15, 16, they've been gambling for who knows how long. By the time they get to adulthood, they've been gambling for 10 years, right? That's a much bigger issue. Another one, we have actual women beaters in the NBA. One of the things that Luke Kornet said, he said, one of the things he said is, allowing this night to go forward without protest would reflect poorly on us as an NBA community, specifically in being complicit in the potential objectification and mistreatment of women in our society. Well, you think about the NBA fan base before Caitlin Clark, the WNBA, how it was perceived by everyone. Mistreatment. We look at Angel Reese now. We look at the objectification. I mean, it's not as if these things go away, right? Like my friend was saying, right? This stuff is very vanilla. It's not as if you got them, twerking on the scene. I mean, I feel like even cheerleader routines, you could potentially argue are provocative. They're not even gonna have that. They're just gonna have Ti perform, right? So anyway, regardless of how a woman finds her way into the adult entertainment industry, many in this space experience abuse, harassment, and violence to which they should never be subjected. I fully agree. This is very true. But is that not the plight of women everywhere? Is that not the plight of women everywhere? Is that not the plight of Miles Bridges' girlfriend? Of anyone in the NFL? We let these thugs back in the league. They play, they get celebrated. You know what I'm saying? The same people who were talking about, yeah, why are they letting Magic City Monday, the same like 35, 45-year-old white guy talking about, yeah, they shouldn't do this, who lives in Charlotte, they're like, yeah, Miles, you dunked that ball. You really hit that tomahawk, huh, kid? You know what I'm saying? Despite him beating the brakes off his girl, stalking her all the 9 yards. I'd like to encourage the league, its owners, employees, and fans to hold the Atlanta Hawks to a higher standard of what they find worthy of promoting. Again, it's a halftime show. What about when V's and Babyface Ray, two guys who only talk about drugs and sex and that's all they talk about, perform for the Detroit Pistons? And everyone loved him, man. House. Hey, yeah, I'm very. We was working both routes. They were drug dealing. Yeah, I'm very gory. The girl is very. You know why he didn't say that whole verse? He was going to say effectively that girl was highly aroused. That were very, you know what I'm saying? That were very horny, right? She just walked the cop. Let's go. Hell yeah, I did it. Getting mixtape. Still I met Drake. All that. Come to my trap. To an audience of 18,000. Keep going. Only combat. Nah, I just popped a perk and put a deuce. I still ain't high yet. Where's the outrage? Where's the outrage? Where's the outrage? This was 3 years ago. This was 3 years ago. All right. It's a halftime show. Who cares? How come there's no denouncing this? How come there's no petitioning this? This was 3 years ago. Life went on. It's not like people are asking, Mommy, Daddy, where are the perks? What are perks? What are perks? What's the trap? What is that, Mommy? What's that, Daddy? And now they're drug dealers to this day at the ripe age of 11, 15, whatever. Let's say they was 11 years old. It was about to be their birthday, and now they're 15, and now they're trapping because they had seen V's and Babyface Ray perform at a Detroit Pistons game. Man, come on. Be serious. That didn't happen. Man. I just don't understand it, man. I really don't. So anyway, I and the others throughout the league were surprised and object the Hawks' decision. We desire to provide an environment where fans of all ages can safely come and enjoy the game of basketball and celebrate the history and culture of communities in good conscience. I'm sorry, Luke, but that's part of the that's part of the history and culture of communities. I know it's something that makes you pretty uncomfortable, but that's really how it goes, man. There are people that go to the strip club in Atlanta. They go and celebrate going to Harvard, Stanford by going to the strip club. It's a cultural cornerstone. That's how it goes, man. And they are, what is the word? They are doing this in good conscience. Very vanilla. G-rated. T.I.'s performing. It's not going to be worse than that V's and Babyface Ray talking about popping perks. Just because you saw it, you're like, oh, I want to write about this because it feels like it's going to be my values. This is a real thing that I take issue with, right? At the end of the day, we're making an outrage over nothing. Again, I understand why he feels like this. I understand the stance he's taking. I feel like that too. A certain part of me does feel like that, right? Like, oh my gosh, my first initial reaction is like, it's a strip club. Like, why would you want that around your kids? Like, it's not family friendly. But think about it. What's family friendly nowadays, huh? Really, really. In today's age, what's really family friendly? We've got a president who R-worded a woman. I mean, he was affiliated with adult entertainers, right? They sued him. The Atlanta Hawks are celebrating communities in a good conscience. For someone to deny and reject that as malicious and evil without giving it any kind of proper research, without thinking about maybe there are different cultures that are different than mine, that will receive this differently than I will, instead of immediately running to the NBA and saying like, oh my gosh, this needs to be shut down. I don't know, man. I mean, it's interesting to me because I think about all of the things in the NBA that you could really that are much more of an issue. I mean, you talk about objectification and mistreatment of women. Look at your teammates. Look at your locker room. How many people in your locker room? Come on, what are we talking about? I mean, we look at Magic City. Magic City, if we look up Magic City MLS, after the Atlanta United FC won the championship for the MLS, they took their freaking championship thing over to Magic City. I mean, like, bro, we could keep going. Let's look at this. I haven't seen this yet. So Hawks spokesperson has now said nothing. They didn't say anything. They just said the Hawks have no plans to change their Magic City Monday promotion. Good for standing on it, Atlanta. Atlanta is a debaucherous city. There's a lot going on. If kids never went to Magic City Monday, they would know about Magic City within the year, I promise you. You're telling me kids don't talk about it. You're telling me kids don't play GTA. You're telling me kids don't play Call of Duty. You're telling me kids aren't exposed to adult things all the time. The fact is that this is a cultural touch point in Atlanta's history. This is how they're celebrating it. They're doing it in a tasteful manner. They're having the lemon pepper wigs and having a world famous rapper perform with regular cheerleaders. Just because it's a name doesn't mean all of a sudden that all of the kids there, let's say there's 1,000 kids that are all going to turn into perverted monsters. That's not going to happen. I don't understand the outrage. Because again, the reason that I feel like this is really annoying me is because it's such a myopic, narrow-minded piece of outrage that we can get mad at, get riled at because of fundamentally it sounds wrong. Why is a strip club partnering with a professional organization? But the thing is, this is going to lead to absolutely nothing in the end. People are going to go through it, people are going to enjoy it, and then it's going to end. And that's the end of the story. But now all of a sudden, because of all of this hullabaloo, right? Now it's going to be negatively associated with the Hawks for a long time. Why did the Hawks hire that strip club without knowing how it actually went, without knowing the actual details? In fact, with all of this drama, I read a comment where someone said something that was pretty pertinent, I feel. They're like, because of all of this, now more kids are going to look this up. Magic City, what is Magic City? And get introduced to that whole business because people are making such an uproar about it, man. I don't know. I feel like I probably have an opinion that people aren't going to like, but bro, at the end of the day, like, it's not a big deal. Life is going to go on. There are much more bigger issues for the NBA to tackle than one individual team's decision to celebrate their city's culture for one halftime show. Let me know your thoughts and comments.